If you have a ruler at home, this is going to be pretty easy. If not, you can just use a piece of paper. I'll show you how to do that in a second, or anything with a straight edge, really. So today we're going to start off by drawing 5 rectangles. And I'm using the inch side of my ruler. And I'm using the inch side of my ruler because, like I said a second ago, that's going to make this really, really easy. So one side, I made 3 inches. The other side, I'm making 2 inches. Why that's really important is it will help me to partition things in just a minute. So I'm going to make another one that's exactly the same. And I'm doing that on purpose to show you 2 different ways that we can do this. And again, I'm going to make the exact same rectangle. So 3 inches on that side, 2 inches on these sides, and then this side's got to be 3 again. All right, so with that done, if I want to break this in half, it's really easy for me to go to my side that I just made 2, and if I mark right here at where 1 inch is, and then I go over to this side and do the same thing, I'm going to mark where 1 inch is. And now I'm going to connect those 2 lines that I just made. And by doing that, I had 0, 1, 2 inches. So 0 to 1, that's one part. 1 to 2, that's the second part. I have 2 parts. This is one out of the 2 parts. This is one out of the 2 parts. This section here is half the shape. This section here is half the shape. Now, if I want to break it into thirds, again, I already set that up for this one to make that easy. Instead of going to the side that's 2, I want to go to the side that's 3 because I want 3 parts. And again, I go to where the whole inches are. There's 1 inch. There's 2 inches. And I already have the line at 3 inches. And I already have a line at 0. So then I come up here. Again, I've got a line at 0 already. I've got a line at 3 already. So all I've got to do is mark the 1 and the 2. Now, I connect my lines from top to bottom, making columns. I made rows last time. Now I'm going to make some columns. All right, now, how many parts do I have? I have 3 parts. That's 1 out of 3, that's 1 out of 3, and that's 1 out of 3. Again, if I shade them in a little bit differently, go that one that way, that one that way, and let's do straight up and down with this one. I have 3 parts that are all equal, and I made thirds. You can use the centimeter side of your ruler too if you want to. Like, let's say that I want to make something in half again. As long as I pick an even number, let's go with 4, okay? I'll make that side 4, and I'm going to make a square. I'm going to make all sides 4. All right, and what's half of 4? Thinking about our doubles. We've been working on doubles all year long. Half of 4 is 2. So if I come here, and let's do it vertically this time. Let's make columns again. Mark that 2. Come here, mark this 2. And then I just connect the top and the bottom. And I have halves again. If I want to make 4 parts, okay, I can go ahead and make this into fourths now too, since I worked with 4. Actually, you know what? I'll do that in the next one. Not to confuse you. There's 2, that's 2, because there's 2 parts. That's 1 out of 2, that's 1 out of 2. All right, now let's make it into fourths. So again, 4, 4, 4, 4, and now I just want to mark, if I'm going to do fourths, got a line at the 0 already, mark the 1, mark the 2, mark the 3, I've got a line at the 4, Scoot it up to the opposite side. Again, I've got the 0, mark the 1, mark the 2, mark the 3, and then connect. Oop, didn't quite connect those right. There we go. Sometimes that happens. Your ruler doesn't quite line up and you got to go back and draw your line a second time. All right, this time I have 4 equal parts. And that's 1 out of 4, that's 1 out of 4, that's 1 out of 4, that's 1 out of 4. So we have quarters. And shade them in a little bit differently just to show you. We have 4 parts that are about the same size. If you don't happen to have a ruler at home, that's okay too. You can just get a piece of paper or anything really that has a straight edge. Now, this one's a little bit tougher because you got to eyeball it. So I got to make this bottom line about the same length as the top line. If I do that, stuck out a little bit, but I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm pretty close at it. All right, and then let's say I want to break it into thirds. So again, eyeballing. Now that looks like that middle part's a little too big, so I'm going to scoot those in just a little bit. And then that's not bad. Not bad. I draw 2 lines on the inside to make it into 3 parts. If I drew 3 lines on the inside, that'd make 4 parts. And there you go. 5 rectangles partitioned into equal parts. What I don't want to see when you send me your pictures is something like this. There, I broke it in half. There's 2 parts because this part is way smaller than that part, so that doesn't work. Make sure your parts are the right size. Also, don't draw shapes that look like this because you're not using a straight edge. Use a straight edge, make straight lines. Have fun with this. Good luck.